All right. Shalom, shalom. This is Howard One by Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. Before I begin, I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Harakah Kodash, Ma'amaf. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Shalom to you, Akim, Nagwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. Uh, it's going to be a breaking prophetic news episode on Lions Den. Um, Today's date is March 10th, 2026. Um, and I have a video I want to play from this guy, Professor Zhang. He's been going viral all over the internet lately, talking about World War III, basically pinpointing a lot of things we've been already prophesying about. The brothers that are in this truth and the elders. um, Now, people like him, you got to watch, because as you, as always, we'll be out there teaching and applying the prophecies with the scriptures and current events and news, and tying the prophecies to Yahweh and Yahweh Shai into the Israelites. But then you'll have people pop up and start, um, you know, seeing current events happen, and they have their own esoteric or whatever beliefs that you got to watch out for. All right. So but anyway, as far as the news, I want to play something real quick. Check this out.
This is not a war between, the United States and Iraq or Afghanistan. They didn't have that much of power to fight back. This is Iran. That's somehow
Right. So he's basically starting off saying this war here is not Iraq. They didn't have a full way to fight back against uh, the U.S. Army, but Iran does, man. You know.
different in terms of the size of the country, size of the population. Their military power is different. What is your understanding of what's going on in the Middle East?
Right. So he's saying, I'm gonna play that again since I keep stopping it. But he's stating that Iran is different. It's so vast, and I was showing my children the other day a documentary on Iran and how they're basically still Persia. They just changed their name. That's it. For political reasons, they changed their name to Iran, but they're really the Persians. And if you look at the Persians um, and their kingdoms, you know, and you have even the Medio Persian Empire. So the Iranians, their mindset and their what you would call willpower, is strong. And the scriptures say that let the weak say I am strong, and that's what they're doing. Their whole thing is breaking down or destabilizing the Middle Eastern region, even destabilizing Iran, which would destabilize China's economy, allegedly, right? Um, but at the same time, you have Trump and his administration coming out and saying Iran's um, military and everything is destabilized and destroyed. But at the same time, you have their spokespersons coming out from Persia or Iran saying that they're strong. This is all prophecy, man. The weak are saying they're strong, and they're beating their plowshares into swords, man. We're actually witnessing this happen in real time. All right, but they're talking about an arms race, a nuclear arms race, sending ground troops in, which could escalate World War III. And everything's going to go according to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai's will. I don't care what man thinks. The scriptures say the king's heart is in the hand of the Most High. He turns it whithersoever he wills. You know, and everything is set in place, and the Lord does not move nor stir it until a said measure be fulfilled. So at the right time, you see man or or people like Trump or Putin saying they're going to do one thing, and the Most High turn them to do another because it's going according to prophecy. All right, so I'm gonna play that again.
This is not a war between, the United States and Iraq or Afghanistan. They didn't have that much of power to fight back. This is Iran. That's somehow different in terms of the size of the country, size of the population. Their military power is different. What is your understanding of what's going on in the Middle East?
Right. So we are in World War III right now. It's only been a week, but this war between the United States and Iran can only escalate over time.
Boom. So he said we are in World War III right now, man. You know, so this is the beginning of it, like the scriptures say. You know, so we're literally in World War III as we speak. I'm gonna get one scripture. Let's go to Revelation 8 and 13. So what's 13? Revelation 8 and 13. And it says here, I beheld, Revelation 8 and 13, and I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the three angels which are yet to sound, man. Because why? Because we're in the time of World War III. And you got what's that? Here you gonna get this real quick. You got uh this current administration here in in Babylon pushing what is it called? Hold on. Get this real quick. What do you call it? What do you call that? What is it called, man? This strike that they're doing. What is U.S. strike on Iran called? Something with Fury, right? Yeah, there you go. Operation Epic Fury. All right, Operation Epic Fury. Get an image real quick. All right, so you got Operation Epic Fury is what they're doing right now. Second, so I can. This one look like a good one. Just a little backdrop. All right, Operation Epic Fury. Now, scriptures say, there you go. Go to Revelations 12 and 12 real quick. All right, so woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth. All right, World War III, destruction. Revelation 12 and 12. And it says here, therefore rejoice ye heavens, though. See that? Rejoice ye heavens. So the heavens represent the elect, the angels, because it's their time. And the elect that are upon the earth that have their conversations in heaven, you know, and our reward is in heaven. And our salvation is coming from the heavens. And ye that dwell in them, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. See that? Once again, woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth. 'Cause this is judgment coming down upon the earth, and the Lord is using man to kick off their own destruction. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath. And if you look up great wrath, it is synonymous with the word fury. All right, wrath and fury. So he's coming down with great wrath because he knoweth that he have but a short time. All right. So that's that. You got that Operation Fury. All right, bringing down great wrath upon the earth. And this is let me get something else real quick. What was that? Revelations 11 and let's go to Revelations 11 and 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither, talking about the elect. They're going to get saved and delivered out of the midst of this destruction that's coming here. All right. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. Let me get it off this picture for the backdrop. And they descended up to heaven in a cloud. And it says here, into the chariots, and their enemies beheld them. See, not everybody's going to be saved as they teach these lies in church, that the whole world's going to be saved and all that. The scriptures say that enemies are going to behold him. And you go to the scriptures, it tells you who the enemies of the Lord are, even 2/3 of our people. In the same hour was there a great earthquake. So the same hour is going to be a great earthquake. Right now you have many earthquakes in diverse places. But in that day, once they start dropping nukes, which they're kind of using that type of power right now, but just not nuclear. All right. The same hour was there a great earthquake. It's only going to take an hour for them to bring the end to this place called Babylon. And the 10th part of the city fell, meaning it's going to be destroyed. What's it called? Precision strikes that they're going to do. The Lord said he's going to sweep this whole place with the besom of destruction to destroy the whole land. This is prophecy. And when it happens, it's all to give praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, because he spoke this from the beginning, and he caused all the miracles and his word to come to pass. All right. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. So that means an innumerable number going to be destroyed here on this land, on the soils of Babylon, the U.S., And the remnant were affrighted. The elect going to be shook because they're going to witness it, be taken up in the midst of it, and gave glory to the God of heaven. But right after that, they're going to be in the chariots giving glory to the Most High. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe coming quickly. The rest going to be left here in the midst of World War III, missiles flying all over the damn earth. And what comes after that is what you would call nuclear fallout. All right. So the third woe is coming quickly.
So today there are rumors circulating online that one division. Oh, today there are rumors circulating online.
Run back.
This is not a war between, the United States and Iraq or Afghanistan. They didn't have that much of power to fight back. This is Iran. That's somehow different in terms of the size of the country, size of the population. Their military power is different. What is your understanding of what's going on in the Middle East?
Right. So we are in World War III right now. It's only been a week, but this war between the United States and Iran can only escalate over time.
Mm-hmm.
So today there are rumors circulating online that the 82nd Airborne Division of the United States Army has been given deployment orders. They've
See, there's rumors that that war is going to break out in that region. And what region they're talking about is right here. I'm gonna show you all around here. All right, the borders of Iran. I think this is Iran right here. Then you have all these GCC countries that are allied with the U.S. All right. Then you have the Kurds that live all through here. Then you have the Euphrates River that goes through here, all up to Turkey. So the Lord is gathering all these troops into this area, as the scriptures say. And there's wars. And he said, "What? There's wars happening." And you heard what he just said. What he said?
So today, there are rumors circulating online that the 82nd Airborne Division of the United States Army has been given deployment orders.
See that? There's rumors of what? Let's go to it. You already know. Let me go to my bad 13. This is Mark 13 and 7. And when ye shall hear of wars, see, we're hearing it. Why are we hearing it now? Here you go. Kind. That's what I was looking for. We're hearing about it because of this. Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision or the prophecies is yet for an appointed time. What time? This is the time of the Lord's judgment, the time of our deliverance. All right. Now, the time of war. But at the end, it shall speak and not lie. The prophecies are speaking, and we're hearing it. Meaning what? They're speaking the truth. The truth is speaking. All right, we teach the truth, and the prophecies uh, are the truth as well as reality. Though it tarry, wait for it. Even though it seems like a long time, the Most High's judgment is not slack. That's what it's all about. His judgment, and it's going to be known that His word is faithful and true. All right, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So the prophecies are what they're speaking, and they're not lying. It's showing that it's true. That the prophecies are true. But at the same time, as the prophecies are speaking, Mark 13 and 6, no, 7, and ye shall hear, see, of wars and rumors of wars, as the prophecies are speaking out, are actually happening, basically, are coming to pass. But the Lord said this, be ye not troubled, for such things must needs be, but the end shall not be yet. All right, but the end is not yet. So these things have to start for the climax of the war to happen in deliverance. All right, so it starts from a tiny fire, and then it turns into a inferno. Know what the Lord said? What will I if it already be kindled? So Yahweh Shai is kindling the fire. For a nation shall rise against nation. So we're seeing the nations rising up, the division and separations happening, and they're rising up against each other, building up their defenses, their attacks, propaganda, their forces, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be earthquakes in diverse places. So this is happening as well. All right. So the earthquakes in diverse places is happening too. Look at this. So all these prophecies are happening as we speak. You just had an earthquake the other day. I forgot where it was at. Um, it was just the other day. It was somewhere in America, I think. Let me see. I can't find it. It's cool. Yeah, I probably won't be able to find it. Yeah, I ain't gonna be able to find that right now. But check this out. As you see on this map, this is an earthquake map, and there's earthquakes all along the west coast right now. Right, But not only that, you zoom out, look at all these earthquakes. All right. So you see over here in Japan, they had a six 6 point magnitude earthquake. Sheesh. Japan getting it. Turkey had a 4.2 magnitude earthquake. So there's earthquakes in what? Diverse places, different places. What was that? Loyalty Island, southeast. Russia. They just had a 5.0 magnitude earthquake. So there's earthquakes all over happening all over the earth. And man-made earthquakes too, from them doing weapons testing. All right. So let's go back to the scripture. And it says, see at the end is speaking and it's not lying, so everything's starting. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Oh, verse 8. For nation shall rise against nation. So we're seeing them all rising up. Kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be earthquakes in different places, so diverse places. And there shall be famines and troubles. Now we're hearing about possible famines happening uh, because of the war. All right. Not only that, just because of um, oppression, whatever reason. But it's all the Lord's judgment. Drought. Um, Now it says the UN World Food Program and World Bank reported a deepening global food crisis just in general, not because of the war, just a crisis for 2026. Global, with acute insecurity rising and 16 hunger hotspots. While not a universal global famine, catastrophic yet, man made famines are already occurring in areas like Sudan, Gaza, driven by conflict, climate shocks allegedly, extreme funding shortages. So they already have a global food insecurity crisis going on right now. But beyond that, you have where is it at? Right here in the U.S. It says the U.S. the country is experiencing a significant and escalating hunger crisis. Recent reports from early 2026 indicate that approximately 47.9 million Americans, 1 in 7 households, are food insecure, meaning they lack consistent access to any affordable, nutritious diet. All right, that's right here in the U.S. So you see it, it's like right there. It's everything right there at the beginning. All right, of food shortages. What's this? And then you have something called stagflation, to where the economy or the prices begin to inflate at the shelves, or like the energy or gas, the oil, um, imports, like wheat and fertilizer. All the prices rising, and then at the same time, there's no growth in the economy. That's called stagflation. All right. So it says here stagflation, the combination of stagnant growth and rising prices, similar to the 1970s, could make basic essentials much less affordable for many Americans. All right, so that could lead to famine, slowing growth. Economists warn of a recession risk if the war, whoa, if the war, this war, Iran war, lasts more than a few weeks, it can go into a recession because of slow growth, the slowing down of all the oil that's stuck out there in the Hormuz, right? As prices rise, forcing consumers to cut spending. That would slow down growth. right? So that slows down the growth, and then you have the inflation. Rising energy and food costs could push the U.S. inflation toward 4% or higher in 2026. So the food and the gas prices going up. Even though they're trying to say they're ending it now, but Iran saying they're not stopping. They said they started the war, but they're gonna finish it. Check this out. Threats to the water supply and food inflation stalk the Gulf states. What Gulf states? Right here, I'm gonna show you again. These are the Gulf states. So most of their food and their imports come through here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna see if I can show you another picture. Uh, here you go. Screenshot. One moment. Here we go. It's right there. All right. So this right here is a pretty good breakdown. I don't know if you can see it. This is a pretty good breakdown of all the imports that come in to those Gulf states from the U.S. They get 7% total imports, which is food groups like the trees, nuts, dairy, prepared food, et cetera, et cetera. Brazil transport food to those countries. India, the European Union, which uh, Europe gets a lot of their water from that area. So Saudi Arabia gets imports and food. So this could lead. See, and it shows that Persia is playing chess. It's like that whole somebody pull a sword on you, but you have a knife at their throat. You know what I mean? Um, so now what Persia can do, what they're doing is threatening those U.S. allies in that region to starvation because of war and decimation of their cities. All right, because of the troops that are there. That's why you may see attacks on hotels that may be harboring what they consider enemies. You know what I mean? To the regime. So all the imports that come into this area are threatened because all the tankers and ships are not passing through because of fears of attacks from Iran and fears of attacks from either side in the midst of war. All right, so this could cause what? Famine. Okay, which could also lead to the threatening the economy here, leading to famine. So threats to water supply and food inflation stalk the Gulf states. Iran has yet to target critical disal- disal- damn disaligned nation plants in the Gulf, but the closing Strait of Hormuz and attacking transportation hubs could spike food prices, man. All right, so disaligned nation. Shit, I was trying to say that damn word earlier when I was reading it. So Gulf countries are shutting down oil and gas production as a result of U.S. Israeli war on Iran, but it's not just their energy infrastructure that is currently held hostage to Iran's retaliatory missile and drones. Food and water are a threat too. I'm not going to read this whole article. If you look in the description, I'm going to leave it there. This is from the Middle East Eye, all right, news article. But you see, the food and the water is being threatened over there. All right. See this. says Strait of Hormuz disruption threatens Gulf food shipments of corn, soybean, soy meal, wheat, barley to all these countries, even to Iran itself. So they're willing to sacrifice themselves in the midst of this. That's their whole um, Muslim belief is to sacrifice themselves at this point, like martyrs. So Iran, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, they get all of this up to 100%, 90%. All right, so I'm gonna leave this article. It says Strait of Hormuz disruption threatens the Middle East food imports. UAE and Iran have urged citizens to avoid stockpiling. So, and there you have it right there. It says what? For the vision is yet for an appointed time. Mark 13 and 8. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles, which could lead to societal collapses all around the world. These are the beginning of sorrows, basic beginning of hell on earth. Why? Because Esau is increasing his damn desires as hell, and right, and they're trying to take everybody with them into the destruction. So now let's go back to this video, right? Because he said there's rumors now of them sending in ground troops, and if they do that, that's World War III. Let's go back to it.
They've stopped training exercises. So today there are rumors circulating online that the 82nd Airborne Division of the United States Army has been given deployment orders. They've stopped training exercises, and it is possible they'll be deployed to the Middle East very soon, possibly within the next few days. The use of ground troops
Possibly in the next few days, man. So I mean, it's close.
in against Iran would mark a massive escalation.
See, I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. One of the brothers in the camp. They have to. They're gonna have to send in ground troops because of this. I'm gonna show you. Because of this, Iran. Oh, you heard about Bahrain. Look up Bahrain. What happened with Bahrain? Look at what's happening in Iraq. It's being divided with the Kurds, with the Shiite and the Sunni Muslims. A lot of them stand with Iran. Some don't. So they can be Saudi Arabia could be because of this war, because of Mr. T. Uh, Iran, Saudi Arabia could be forced to fight Iran on two fronts, through Bahrain and from Iraq. You got a lot of bases in Kuwait, but a lot of them are destroyed allegedly. But they could be forced to fight them um, through societal collapse in Iraq with a division. They could raise up either side, and also with Bahrain, which is a small country that can't fight against Iran, so they could take that easily and go into Saudi Arabia and cut off the food for Saudi Arabia. So Saudi Arabia like, yo, help. What are you doing? Like, getting us in some shit over here. And so now, even though the U.S. is saying they're gonna send in Kurds, they'll have to send in a mass of U.S. troops, man, to protect Saudi Arabia, which is a major oil ally for the U.S. So I believe they're gonna send them in there, but if they do it, that's prophecy. Once again, look at this. Let me get this. Let me get this. This is let me see. I'm gonna get a backdrop picture real quick. Yes. All right, this might be a good one. I just used that. The U.S. troops in Iran, war intensifies. That's from today. All right, so I'm gonna read the scripture. It says here, let's go to Isaiah 34 and Isaiah 34 and 1. It says, "Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear." See, hear the prophecies. See, at the end it shall speak and not lie. Hear the judgment of the Lord, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of Yahweh is upon all nations, World War III, and his fury upon all their armies, Armageddon. Right? This is where Yahweh Shah is going to show up to judge all their armies. Actually, he's going to show up before that through having them destroy each other. Right? He controls the issues of death, life and death. All right. And then eventually, all of those nations are going to stop the fight that they have against each other, and they're going to turn the fight against Yahweh Shah himself when he shows up. So this is literally where we're at. We're in that time. But we're in the beginning stages of it. He said the end is not yet. For the indignation of Yahweh is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He have utterly destroyed them. That's he prophesied that they're going to be destroyed. He have delivered them to the slaughter. Once you sign up for that, you're getting delivered to the slaughter. You know, look at. They said first they said it was 3 people, 3 soldiers that got unalived. Then they said it was 6. Now they saying it's like 500 or so, probably more than that. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. All right, not only here in the soils of Babylon, but all around the world. All those soldiers, all right, going over there giving their lives for these politicians. And all of the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. So it's going to happen. It's going to get to that point where they're going to go nuclear. And all their hosts shall fall down as a leaf falleth from a vine. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. So all this is going to lead up to the great, from Armageddon to the Great War of World War III, missiles flying and leading up to the destruction on the soils of this place, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. All right, so so that's what them sending in troops could lead, which a lot of us believe is going to lead to. This is it. All right, this is it, man. Those troops being there is going to start World War III. In fact, let's get that. Let me play this real quick one more time. Look, listen.
Right now, it's mainly an air war where the United States and Israel have air supremacy, meaning that they can strike at will against Iran. And because the costs are limited, even though America and Israel are suffering casualties, it isn't that many casualties. They're trying to avoid as many casualties as possible. And so they can theoretically retreat from this war. But the moment that ground troops go into Iran, then it is impossible to retreat. And this war can only escalate. So a massive turning point in this conflict.
So he's saying once they got a chance to retreat right now, which is kind of too late because of the damage they've done over there. But if they send in ground troops, it can only escalate from that point.
Will be the use of ground troops. If ground troops are used, then we are in World War III, and this will mark the end of the world as we know it. And
He said, I don't know who need to hear this.
theoretically retreat from this war. But the moment that ground troops go into Iran, then it is impossible to retreat. And this war can only escalate. So, a massive turning point in this conflict will be the use of ground troops. If ground troops are used, then we are in World War III, and this will mark the end of the world as we know it.
Mm. Come on, man. It's the end of the world as we know it. So is it the end of the world or is it the end of their world as they know it? Let's go to Joel 2 and 20. Joel 2 and 20. Says here, but I will remove far off from you the northern army, North American army, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate over there in Kuwait, Baghdad, Iraq. What a picture I had. There you go. This is all their allies over here in this area. You know, the deserts, especially with Kuwait. Like I said, this is not Iraq war. This is a different war now. So, right, with their hinder part, with their face towards the East Sea and their hinder part towards the utmost sea. All right, so the Red Sea and towards the Black Sea, which used to be tied to the Caspian Sea. You know, it was known as the Great Lake, but it used to be one sea. Basically saying towards Iran in that direction. All right, so that's their focus is to go in Iran, and Russia's right behind it. Now it says, and his what? And his stank shall come up. Meaning what? Let's go to the translation. It says here, damn, I will remove the locust bases of army that come from the north and will drive them into the desert. Right? Their front ranks will be driven into the Dead Sea, their rear ranks into the Mediterranean Sea. Basically, the desert. All right, that's um that area is not the desert. This is prophetic. So it's talking about them setting up for war, all right, in these last days. Now check this out. Their dead bodies, where it says they stink shall come up, their dead bodies will stink, and I will destroy them because all that they have done, you know, to you, what they've done to us. That's why the Lord is against their armies. All right. Like you say in Jeremiah, even called their stink to come up out of their corpses. So they're going over there to that war. They're gonna get their asses handed to them, according to prophecy. Let's go to Revelation 16 and 21. It says, no, not 21. Here you go. Revelation 16 and 16. All right, where is it? Here you go. No, let's go to 15. Behold, I come as a thief, man. Yeah, that's what people will get caught off guard because they don't know the prophecies. You know, their eyes not open to it, so they're gonna miss salvation, meaning they sleep. Blessed is he that watcheth. So you gotta be awake to watch and keepeth his garments. Keep yourself from sin and wickedness. Lest he walk naked, meaning without a covering, right, in your own sins, and they see his shame. Who's they? The world see you get confounded, and the angels. Right? They see that individual get destroyed. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. All right, Armageddon. In the Hebrew tongue is called Armageddon, which Har just means mountain or a hill, and Magadwan with Gad or God, Gad like the Gadites would be like troops, so it would be like a gathering, a crowd. That's what it represents. All right, Armageddon, Armageddon. It means a crowded place or gathering of troops. It says in Revelations, it is a place of great slaughter, the scene of a terrible retribution upon the wicked. Ooh, and their armies. The Lord is waging war against their armies, even according to Revelations 12. There's going to be war in the heavens too. All right. So, let me get this real quick. Yeah, so this prophecies are happening. The Battle of Armageddon, where they fight it out in the Middle East. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 1 and 4. But is it the end of the world? No, it's actually the beginning of something more, way more better. A new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness, where these nations study war no more, advancing their weaponry alongside their wickedness and their evil thoughts and ambitions. You know, they won't be able to do that anymore. Everything will be flipped, complete opposite. Where we were on the bottom, now we'll be ruling class. You know, where the world is in shambles and wickedness, it'll be built up and it'll be in righteousness. You know, where Esau is ruling the world, instead they'll be at the bottom of the barrel. All right, Ecclesiastes 1 and 4. One generation passeth away. So this generation is passing away. And another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. So this way is uh, passing away. There you go. It says 2 Peter 3 and 10, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, unexpectedly, man. That great day, you know. But we know we're in the midst of it. We're in that time. We can see it. The contractions, we can see um, that day approaching. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. That's Zarbomba. All right, great noise, ICBMs. And the elements shall melt with fervent heat. So this is how the Lord is going to turn the page. He's going to burn it. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. This is the Most High's judgment with fire. Sheesh. Shit like the end of the Thanos movie. He disintegrated their ass. Everybody's favorite characters. Right? Judgment from the Most High, man, what he's about to do. Causing these nations to go to war. All right, Jeremiah 10 and 10. Oh, that's not what I want. Yeah, here you go. Jeremiah 10 and 10. But see the earth, we say, but the earth abideth forever, right? But the Lord ain't say these nations are going to abide forever in these kingdoms. He said one generation passeth, and another one come. He ruleth in the kingdom of men, and he gives it to whomsoever he will. And we're witnessing the turning of the page. We're witnessing, he said, he's going to turn back our captivity before our eyes. Jeremiah 10 and 10. But Yahweh is the true power. He is the living power and an everlasting king, right? Ruling from the heavens. At his wrath, the earth shall tremble. But is it going to be destroyed? No. The nations shall not be able to stand or to abide his indignation. Come on, man. All right. So all of this stuff is going to perish from the earth, but the earth is going to abide forever. So they be like, it's the end of the world. All right, so go to Second Ezra 6 and 9 real quick. See if I can get it on here. All right, it's very simple. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right, so we're witnessing it, and the Lord is delivering our people by tying up the beast, having them be bloodthirsty towards each other. All right. Let's see if I got anything else I want to get. I'm gonna play this one more time. Check it out.
In terms of the size of the country, size of the population, their military power is different. What is your understanding of what's going on in the Middle East?
Right. So we are in World War III right now. It's only been a week, but this war between the United States and Iran can only escalate over time. So today, there are rumors circulating online that the 82nd Airborne Division of the United States Army has been given deployment orders. They've stopped training exercises, and it is possible they'll be deployed to the Middle East very soon, possibly within the next few days. The use of ground troops in against Iran would mark a massive escalation. Right now, it's mainly in air war, where the United States and Israel have air supremacy, meaning that they can strike at will against Iran. And because the costs are limited, even though America and Israel are suffering casualties, it isn't that many casualties. They're trying to avoid as many casualties as possible. And so they can theoretically retreat from this war. But the moment that ground troops go into Iran, then it is impossible to retreat. And this war can only escalate. So a massive turning point in this conflict will be the use of ground troops. If ground troops are used, then we are in World War III, and this will mark the end of the world as we know it.
All right, with that, I'm gonna end it and say shalom. See you on the next one.